That was a good one. And we're back, and we're going to do an update on the Team Corrali Kagama. I've been having quite a bit of fun with this truck, but it's been sitting for a little while because the last time I drove it, you can see there's a lot of damage. Not truck error, total driver error, sending big sends. I didn't do any running footage on this truck, and I wished I would have, because this truck deserves to have some video time. I've been sending it pretty big. It's had some pretty big landings and stuff, but as you can see, I busted it up pretty bad. The one thing I would say is the body, even though it seems super thick out of the box and should hold up really well, it actually cracked pretty easy. The first time it cracked along this lip here pretty quickly, but the damage I'm going to show you just totally did it in. But we're going to shoe glue this back together, and I think it's still salvageable for a few more runs till I replace it. Overall, I'm happy with the truck. We're going to do a few things, different things to it to get it to tune right. But other than that, truck's been durable. So in this particular instance, I was launching it off some pretty big jumps, and I was trying a different direction off a really big jump. And it was probably 25 feet in the air, 30 feet, I don't know. Launched it pretty big. It ended up taking off a little bit too far, and it was flying out into the middle of the street. And so I panicked a little bit because I thought a car was coming, so I hit the brakes, sent it into a front flip, and ended up landing right here on the curb, smack into the shock tower and stuff. So let's go ahead and show you the damage. You can see the body is damaged pretty bad. It was already cracked, but it definitely cracked it a lot. I mean, it shattered it. It was kind of cold that day, but not cold enough to do this. So I think we can shoe glue this back into place, get it by for a minute. Kind of bummed out the body got so tore up. Also ripped the wing off of it. The wing was ripped off pretty quickly because this doesn't have a wheelie bar on it. The wheelie bar really helps protect the wing. You can see I broke the wing mounts, which is something I need to pick up. I don't have those yet. And then, so the damage on the body, you can see how bad it is. Unfortunately, I'd already cracked through here, this area, and then that jump just did it in. But I think we can push it back into place, get it good enough for now till we get into replacement body. So the damage, the major damage is all front damage here. As you can see, we busted both of the shock standoffs off, but you can see this, the shock tower is smashed, totally bent. It's bent back, it's bent like a horseshoe. Both shock standoffs. Actually, it didn't break both shock standoffs, but I have broke both. So I should take that back. This jump only broke this side, but this one I borrowed from somebody else. Anyway, it messed the shock up big time. Shock cap totally ripped off, ripped the threads off the shock. Shock shaft is totally bent. I mean, this shock got done in, and the shock tower is done. So we need a standoff, a shock tower here, and we need some wing mounts. Also, you can see I took the servo out. I put this servo in my Creighton 4S, and we're going to go ahead and upgrade the servo to one I've been using. Been using these Hitec D951TWs. They're titanium gear, 400 plus ounces, high voltage. These things work really well in these type of trucks. I run one in my Coronos. This one I took out of my Creighton that I had sold to a friend, and I wanted to keep this servo, so we're going to put this servo in here. This vehicle deserves a nice servo. That is a good servo. Only drawback to it is it's not waterproof, and it's about $140 servo, so unfortunately it should be waterproof for that. So we pick it up. You can pick up for this truck, they sell the shocks complete with oil, everything in them. The only thing I need to do is change out the spring, and we should be good to go. Hopefully the oil is the same. Also got the new shock tower. I was going to upgrade to the M2C shock towers. M2C now makes two different varieties of shock towers for this. They make one that's called a Beefcake, 7075 aluminum shock towers, front and rear. They're super thick, have reinforcements that's unbelievable. They're a little bit on the pricey side, but all M2C stuff is grade A, made in the US, so you pay a premium for it, and you should if you're going to get something that good of quality. And they also make 5mm carbon fiber shock towers, which is what I was interested in getting. And the carbon fiber shock towers are a little bit less, and I think those would hold up really well. But I had already before I even realized that those were available, I had already purchased the shock tower. So we're just going to go ahead and put the factory one back on for now and maybe upgrade down the road. But if you're interested in those, M2C does make some upgrades for this truck, which is good to see. So let's go ahead and get this thing fixed up. Should be pretty easy fix. Okay, so we got everything put back together pretty much, except I forgot, the crash landing also ripped my battery strap. What a bummer, but we can fix that. Definitely have the ability to fix that up pretty good. And mounted the wing back on. Don't need to replace the wing mounts, there were still extra holes, so that works out pretty good. Shock tower and stuff's replaced, just need to get those. Put these pieces on the back so we have the shock bushings back there, and then just line up the servo. Alright guys, we have the Team Corrali Kagama out finally. We did the repairs that I did on the broken shock tower and stuff you just seen in this video. I got the steering servo centered. I do the Hitec D951TW, quite an expensive servo. And seems to work really well in this style truck. I've had a couple of them, maybe 3. I've actually had 3 of those servos. They hold up really well, super powerful. So we're gonna run this thing. And see, I got the body all glued up best I could. Totally busted, but it'll work. Okay, and sorry for the lighting, but this time of the year just sucks for lighting, period. Being winter here in Utah. I hate the time change. Man, this thing is wicked. It's wicked fast. We got the ramp out here. We give it a few launches. I probably need to move the ramp. It's probably not far enough. Very mild little jump there. The servo feels so much better. I got the BEC cranked up on this. We're also running dual fans on the motor setup. Okay, so we're back to recording. Somebody had their dogs not on a leash, which is typical over here, to have dogs try to chase your RC cars. I'm sure you guys run into it everywhere you go. And I'd hate to tell you, but if this thing hits your Chihuahua is probably not going to survive. So yeah, why don't you call your dogs? There we go. Now the stupid dog's gone. Whoa, that was pleasant. Well, that wing didn't survive very long. That was a stupid hit. Okay, so this wing mount had already been damaged before. I kind of just had it on there and it ripped the holes completely out. Just fine. We don't need wings. Now we're wingless. Only thing the wing does is help you from... I feel like this thing keeps cutting out a little bit. All right, let's get back to it. Can't seem to get my perception down. So dry out here. Normally in the winter it's not. It's a little wetter, so we don't have so much dust. Maybe I could hit the jump. Let's see. I'm at a weird angle, I feel like. Whoa, whoa. Well, we barely didn't rotate enough to do a double, but we got it. So I put, this thing is kind of unpredictable a little bit. Same power system as the Kronos that I run, my XTR, but that truck feels a little bit more tuned than this one. We're running the same shock fluids, same heavy springs, but the diffs are tuned a little bit different. The center diff on this one is tuned to about 350 weight oil, and it makes such a huge difference because my Kronos is only, I believe it's 250, could be 200, and it's a little bit more forgiving than this one. This one is, I feel like the diff is a little too tight. I don't like having my center diff so bound up that it's just got permanent traction. I think it makes the car harder to drive. I mean, I don't want the front wheels unloading too bad. That action actually helps with the drivability of some of these more powerful rigs. Oh, there's a bad one. Having a hard time lining up the jump with the sun right in my face and getting the depth perception down. Everything's still good. It's not too terribly cold. Whew. All right. Did a little shock adjustment there. I felt like it had too much preload. Still jacked up higher than I'd like it, but that should help a little bit. Help get it shooting straighter. Feels better. Get it shooting a little straighter. It was kind of, I think, too jacked up. I haven't messed with really any of the suspension settings from out of the box. Heavy brake, heavy brake. Trying to get a good long send before these batteries die. That was a good one. That's a nice long send. Ooh. Okay guys, that's it for the run on the Kagama. Tried to make it exciting, but I'm having a hard time seeing. This stupid sun is like right in the face. The ramp's about the same color as the background, so. But I did get a couple good jumps in. It was fun to get this thing out again. Needs a little bit of shock tuning. The rear end sits too high. Not a big fan of that. I want it lower. Sit a little flatter. That'll get it to track a little straighter. And just when you go to get it lined up for a jump. And yeah, this thing was a blast. Looks like my wheel's about ready to fall off. Probably a good thing we stopped when we did. Only thing we did was broke the wing. Okay guys, that's it for the run of the Kagama. Show a little bit of damage here. We bent the rear shock tower. I can probably bend that back. Maybe I'll just order another one. Hopefully they start coming out with the 70-75 pieces for this pretty soon. But the M2C Racing makes some carbon fiber shock towers, front and rear. They also make some super heavy duty beefy ones. I think I'm going to try the carbon fiber. This truck is already heavier than the Kronos. I'm not sure I want to add more weight to it. I think that's why it kind of drives just a little bit different than my Kronos. It's just the extra weight. So please like, subscribe, and share. Thanks for watching.